Welcome back to the Tom's Refurb Trade Up Challenge, where I'm standing in front of my 1962 Ford Fairlane that for about 2 months, nobody has wanted. Until today. We're gonna embark on a 2-hour road trip to trade this, at least as a flat trade. Maybe a trade up, depending on who you ask. But it should be exciting, so let's hit the road. Because we're late. It has been parked right here for over a month. I have not started it, and I don't know if it will start. It is very filthy, and we were supposed to leave 15 minutes ago, as usual. Please start. Thankfully, this car is fuel injected, and it has AC, and I've driven it probably a total of 2 hours in my entire ownership, so I'm really hoping it makes 2 to 4 hours today. It idles. Let's go rinse it off, because it is disgusting. Bye. If you remember, I traded this car for a Corvette that I blew up. So this car was already a trade down. In the moment, I thought it was still kind of a trade up, but Ford Fairlanes are not the most desirable classics on the market, especially when all the chrome is blacked out and you put $300 ugly wheels on it. But that's all part of the challenge, I guess. We're all cleaned up, detailed off. Fires right up every time. As far as trade up road trip cars go, this is top tier. It's got air conditioning, it's got a radio, it's got power brakes, automatic. It's honestly a really nice cruising car. I've never taken it on a trip longer than like 25 minutes, but I've got all the faith in the world she'll make it here just fine, hopefully. Now we are not cheating, but we do have Josh following us in the Cummins just in case something happens, because this is a very untested car, and we also want to do some extra filming on the trip, so we're being followed. If you're unfamiliar with the Trade Up Challenge, you've got some catching up to do. It started with my cameraman's Camaro and has gone through a wide range of cars before landing on a big block 4-speed Corvette, which in the last video, I blew up on my way to trade. So I traded it down to this car, which actually turned out to be a really nice driver. It's got fuel injection, AC, aluminum heads, it's quick and it's freshly painted, but nobody has wanted this car for quite some time. So I'm once again trading down, or at least flat trading, for something very cool. So we're currently driving 2 hours to New Jersey to meet this guy halfway to trade for something that is, I think, gonna be more fun to drive. Stop for gas, and I'm really glad I did, because this thing was empty. I think it had like half a gallon left in it by the time we got here. Continuing on. Hey, this fairly ain't no slouch, buddy. Damn, that's the first time I've driven it in a while. This thing actually runs good. First time merging onto the highway in this car ever. I will say, it is ill handling. It does not have a great alignment. In fact, I am deciding now to stay in the right lane. This is not an 80-mile-an-hour cruiser. This is a right lane, 65-mile-an-hour car. The old Fairlane's doing damn good. She's running icy cold, it's cruising fine, 60, 65, feeling good, and the radio. Now, I started this trade-up challenge paying $5,500 for my cameraman's Camaro, and as you know, I've been trying to reduce that total amount of money as the cars have been improving. I've also had a budget of $500 to put into each car, so I think it's impressive that we've been reducing that number at all. So by the time I was done with this Fairlane, I had $4,126 invested into it. And if you remember, it had those big flashy gold wheels on it, and I sold those things for $2,000, which means I'm currently invested $2,126 into this $10,000 minimum car, which is awesome. So hopefully we can keep that trajectory going up and keep the costs going down, because I want a free, awesome car to end this challenge. And I'm nowhere near the end, buddy. I'm gonna give you a Lambo. Lambo don't sound like that, though.
doing this thing. It's like,
and just like that, we're getting off the highway. We are 2 minutes away. The Fairlane did flawlessly and honestly cruised beautifully the whole way. Ran 190 the entire way there. Stereo sounds nice. I'm honestly gonna miss my little automatic cruiser. Not that I ever drove it at all, but maybe I'll miss it now a little bit. We made it. Oh shit. What's going on? Man, that thing looks good. Test driving right now. Just to make sure we like each other's cars. I will say, the cam in this one sounds a lot choppier than the cam in that one. And, best part, it's a 4-speed. So we're just gonna go up the street and back, and as long as everything's good, we'll come back and we'll trade. The seating position in this is like the opposite of Fairlane, but I do like it. Feels like it might need a transmount or something. Had a pretty good clunk when I let off the gas, but I know that this is a trade down from the Fairlane, value-wise, but nobody wanted to trade for the Fairlane. I had it listed for 2 months, and all I had was people wasting my time. I had a couple people that wanted to buy it, but can't do that. It's a trade-up challenge. So this car is cool. It looks half decent, and I think it'll be way easier to trade than the Fairlane. And maybe the value's a little less, but they're close. Definitely a little clunky and not quite as comfy as the Fairlane. I wonder what that clunk is. There's definitely a mount loose or a bushing in the rear that's loose, something's clunky, but aside from that, I don't really give a shit. This thing's cool. I like Corvettes, I like 4-speeds, and I like cams. So my knees are weak and I'm gonna trade. After both test driving, we have decided to go through with our trades. I'm with Evan right here, proud new owner of a Ford Fairlane. How do you feel?
I am so excited. This is totally gonna be a forever car. Dreams came true, so.
That's awesome. I'm honestly really happy you wanted the car.
Yeah.
Because I wanted that Corvette. That thing's badass with a 4-speed, so pleasure doing business. Safe travels to everybody, hopefully. First impressions of the car at actual highway speed, it drives significantly worse than the Fairlane, which is good because I was a little worried about handing off a car to a stranger with a bad alignment, but I'm glad to say the Corvette's alignment is far worse. It's all over the road and it has a whole bunch of play in the steering. Honestly, it's not really a stressor for me, but I'm sure he's loving life now. Good news though, this thing stops good, it runs good, shifts good, clunks a little bit, but boy, that small block sounds real nice. Not as nice as it could because it doesn't have speedy mufflers on it, but it sounds pretty nice. And it's all over the road. Holy f***. This is gonna be an interesting hour, 36 minutes. It's like 8-ball was when I got it. Really scary at 30 miles an hour, but more manageable at 60. I'll take it. I guess I should probably address the Corvette in the room. Yeah, I traded back to another Corvette. I went from super desirable numbers matching Corvette to Fairlane, back to completely undesirable 75 C3, which if it were stock would be literally the most undesirable slow Corvette possible, but I think it's got an engine swap, it's cammed, it runs good, and it's cool. It's a manual. I like it way more than the Fairlane, which is why it's mine now. Where she wants, but it sounds cool. So far so good. We're over half an hour into the trip. My two gripes are the alignment is very scary, and if I touch the wheel one direction or another, the car veers pretty hard, but not in a usual sort of alignment way. It's hard to explain. The other annoying thing is I am very hot. Cameraman's fine because I think his like cowl vent works, so fresh air is coming in, but hot air is coming in on my side and it is baking me from the legs up right now. It feels like I am waist down sitting in a extra hot tub and I'm wearing shoes. It's not great. But other than that, no complaints. Minus the 10 other complaints I'm not voicing right now, but what can you do? It's an old car. As silly as it looks, that feels incredible. The hot air being sucked away from my legs. I might drive the rest of the way home like that. That's more like it. It is starting to rain. That's nice because it cools things off, but it's not nice because I don't have wipers. Thank you, man. Have a good one. Oh, boy. I have to say I'm ready to be home. This alignment's super annoying and my feet feel like they are boiling. Like my feet are so hot right now. My legs are on fire. I did hold my door open for like 10 straight minutes, but then I got scared of the alignment again and I decided I should probably have both hands on the wheel. So I'm living with my boiling legs and trying to muscle the car in its own lane. Needless to say, this thing needs a lot of work and was 110% a trade down. Honestly, I'm still happy. I'm in it for the love of the game. I'm ready to turn this thing into something awesome with a little bit of elbow grease. I'm not worried about it at all. I can fix it, or at least most of it. That's the amount of play the steering has. And if you go like a millimeter actually steering, the car just goes, time to turn. And then if you hit like a big dip or a bow in the road, it's time to turn. Whether you like it or not, you're turning, buddy. Now we're at the fun spot where we merge into a 6-lane highway. And I would like to get over to the slow lane because this alignment is bad. I don't know if it's because it has a half turn of play or maybe it's like towed in instead of towed out. I don't know. Something is funky and I don't like it. I wanna go home and fix this. Let's get in the slow lane. Because I'm going like 50 right now, our ETA to the shop just keeps getting longer and longer. Cameraman and I made the impulse decision to just take the earlier exit and go home instead of going back to the shop because it's easier and I'm done driving this today. I'm gonna deal with it tomorrow. Thank God it is now the next day and it's really nice out and I'm gonna cruise this car to the shop and then we'll start working on it. I got the T-tops off and everything. Awesome. If I'm being honest, I currently do not like this car at all. It's miserable to drive. It doesn't sound that good. And the only redeeming factors are the stick and the cam. Those are the only two things I currently like about this car. And the paint looks sort of relatively decent from very far away. Now I definitely have my work cut out for me on this car, but thankfully most of it shouldn't cost any money. I've got my $500 budget, which I plan to stick to, and most of this should just be elbow grease. So I have a to-do list here. First things first, I have to fix the horrible steering play. It's got like half a turn in it. Hopefully I can tighten up the steering box. Then I gotta check the alignment because this car feels all over the road, but it might be because of the steering play. I gotta fix them both and see what happens. The trans mount is horrible. I think it has no bolts holding it in, and basically when you give the car gas, it drives to the right. You let off the gas, it drives to the left, and it has the worst transmission clunk in history. So hopefully it's not a rear suspension problem and it's just a trans mount. I'm gonna go over the wiring because some of it is hokey. I'm going to go over all of the kind of crusty fuel lines and coolant and oil leaks and see if I can fix them. I'm going to try and see how heat is getting into the leg compartment and boiling my legs. I'm going to refresh the interior. Hopefully I can find some seats. And most importantly, I'm gonna make it sound better. But I'm just starting by depersonalizing it and taking the stickers off. No offense to the stickers, things look better without them. Before I get too active, I just want to check her out. There are no bolts holding the trans mount in. That's cool. Okay, that explains that problem. Rear suspension is kind of all over the place. To be honest, this all kind of looks like a spaceship to me. I am not a Corvette guy. I always have liked how C3s look, but this is the second C3 I've had, and I don't think I love how they drive. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna fix all the leaks it has, because it's leaking every fluid. I am gonna check the training fluid because the transmission also kind of sounds like a power saw, and I'm hoping that there's fluid in it, but I don't know. And trans mount is actually installed. It appears to be half blown out, so I hope the trans mount actually works. At least there's bolts in it. Now, I'm a little scared to see if there's any transmission fluid in this thing, because it does appear to have been leaking. Oh, might have been low. Get rid of some of this oil mess on here. We've done our degreasing. I'm about to fill the transmission, and I just ran the numbers on it, and it is a 1975 GM Super T10, which I believe is factory transmission because this is a 75 Corvette. So that's pretty cool. No idea if the motor's factory. Might try and figure that out, but I do believe she's a factory 4-speed. Pumping this bad girl full. Some nice heavy gear oil, which is what it takes. So hopefully having actual fresh full fluid will quiet it down. I played around with the trans jack because I speculated the trans mount might be completely gone. And I was right. The trans mount is toast, so putting bolts in it didn't even help, obviously. So I need a trans mount, but that's pretty easy. Back on the ground, now let's tackle the steering. Cameraman, can you wiggle the steering wheel? Everybody keep in mind, the wheels are not moving at all right now. But as you can see, that rubber coupler that connects the steering wheel to the steering box is super old and blown out, causing most of the play. But the steering box itself also has some play. I'm currently held back by a trans mount and a rag joint that I've ordered and are gonna come in the mail in a couple days. So for now, I'm just gonna fix the things that don't require parts to fix, such as the broken bolts, the leaks, and a little bit of wiring that needs cleaned up. Now that I've pulled the valve covers, I've done some identification. I know the transmission in it is probably the factory T10, but this engine, based on the numbers stamped on the block, is a 1969 350, which means at worst, it's a 10.25 to 1 compression, 300 horsepower motor. And I also saw this underneath the valve covers. You see those stamps right there? I ran the numbers on these heads and they're World Products Sportsman iron heads, which flow like 200 cc or something like that. But basically, they're good heads. It's got ARP head bolts. It's got a nice lumpy cam. This thing probably makes at least 350 horsepower. So I just need to make it drive and put that power to the ground without trying to murder me every time I hit the gas or turn the wheel. But for now, let's work on the leaks and the beautification. While cameraman gets that sanding done, I'm basically tearing everything off of this and starting fresh. Mainly because there's a big coolant leak coming out of this, so I gotta pop off this water neck, fix the gasket, and while I'm here, I may as well clean off that intake and carb and maybe even paint it. Yuck. Before these valve covers dry all the way, I'm getting a little tricky with the rag and some brake clean, and I'm restoring the fins. Check it out. Just rubbing off the paint to reveal a slightly old and corroded silver finish. But it'll look cool when they're in the car. Got them valve covers all painted up nice, and I'd be a fool if not at least clean this intake up too. And maybe the carb, and maybe the block. As you can see, I've gotten clever with my microfibers, and I'm just gonna hit this thing with a quick refresh. Now, silver paint is always very risky business if everything's not masked, but leave it to the professional. I'll show you it's all right. Just need a little bit of cardboard and a little bit of care. Oh my gosh. Someone just installed this intake today? Just came straight from Summit, baby. Damn. Now anything I do overspray, that's what lacquer thinner's for. Yeah, this thing just got way faster. What brake booster? What? You mean the brand new one I just installed? It looks great, doesn't it? That thing is looking a lot better. I'd like to replace the glass fuel filter with a plastic one, but it's done for now. That only took literally all day. But at least the good news is, leaks and lines replaced and fixed.
One eternity later.
We're back, and it's time to install some parts. Ah, that hurts. Perfect. Wow. What do I do first? The hard thing or the harder thing?
Exhaust.
I can't reward myself quite yet. I gotta do the dog first. So apparently, there's a trans mount for the trans mount. And I'm learning it's held in by approximately 700 bolts. And everything is covered in an inch of grease. And see, look, there it went. There was the transmission mount. Look at this thing. That bolts in 7 different ways. Good news is, destroyed trans mount out. Beautiful new trans mount can go back in. You hungry, cameraman? I dropped it. You're just gonna lick it off the floor. All right. Not too shabby. Hopefully that helps. Now let's tackle this steering rag joint. I went ahead, bought one on eBay. It was like 50 bucks or something. I'll add up everything at the end of the video, but it's gonna suck to install because it's in a weird spot. But basically there's 2 bolts that hold it on one side. This coupler clamps down on the steering shaft. And now looking at it, it does look like I'm missing something. We're gonna see if that works. It looks like it should. Well, it's too late now, so let's take it off. Of course, these are fine thread, so it's gonna take 850 turns to get each bolt out. I had to push this steering column portion of the rag joint up out of the way so that hopefully I can get this bottom part off, which is what I'm replacing. As you can see, that rubber is so destroyed, but I don't know how stuck this is gonna be. Hopefully not stuck at all. Come on. Come on now, don't be shy now. Hit the road. This is gonna take some finagling. Damn, so close. Come on out, come on out. Just barely is like stuck in there. I've got
This piece slid up, I think, as far as it'll go, but I'm gonna have to get it farther. Let's see what we can do. And just like that, factory rag joint. Look at that. This is what controls the play in the steering. I wonder why there was play. Now the fun part is going to be the reinstall because everything's pretty tight up in here. And I have to match up a flat spot with a flat spot. It borderline does not fit. And by borderline, I mean it doesn't fit. I gotta try and beat the steering column portion up further. So I can take that off. My steering wheel is never going to sit the same or straight, but I guess as long as I line it up with this, it'll be all right. That's how it goes together. And how I install it, I don't really know. All right, well, this is gonna suck. Basically what I'm gonna do is remove the steering box, which is held in with 3 nuts that are fairly easy to get to, kind of. Now the intention is, with the steering box unbolted, I can move it out of the way of the steering shaft, and I can get the other side of this coupler on. It's looking relatively promising-ish. So basically I need to get this around everything and installed. I gotta like shift this up. I gotta get this on the steering shaft. Yikes. We're pretty close, but I don't know if we're close enough. I don't know, hard to explain, pain in the ass is basically where I'm at right now. A bit of an awkward challenge. Don't be shy. Oh, ooh! Oh, I think I did it. Hot damn, that sucks. Now I basically have to thread on the bolt that holds this all together. Before I put the steering box back in, I'm going to thread in the steering column shaft bolt. Judging by the fact that it slips into place and threads in. Hell yeah. Yes! These are the bolts that hold the steering box in. Kind of a convenient design. If we're being honest, it's not that bad. Thanks, Chevy. Okay, now steering column can go back together. It's amazing how much of a pain in the ass this all is. Almost poetic. That rag joint is installed, it's tight, steering box is tight, and while it kind of sucked in the moment, it wasn't that bad overall. Now the big test is how much steering play do we have now? Because the steering box does have a sort of like gear lash adjustment screw on it, so I'm gonna turn the key on. Oh, that's so much better. There's still a little bit of play in here. I've got my nice brand new coupler on there, but there's still play in the box itself. However, this right here should fix that. I don't want to adjust it too much. We don't want the steering to bind up or anything, but just a minor adjustment on her should help tighten things up. And I'm gonna tighten up like a 1/4 of a turn. You're supposed to make like 1/8 turn increments to see how it does, but I'm gonna go big. I'm just gonna do a nice 1/4 turn. Snug that up, see how it feels. Oh, minor improvement. Ooh, I can feel it get a little tighter there. That's cool. All right, that was 1 more 1/4 turn. That kind of felt like it snugged it up a little. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Any other play might be in like worn out ball joints, tie rods, etc. But honestly, with a very slight turn of the wheel, like where it feels like it has play, I can see the tires wanting to move. So cut the slack out of that. Hopefully it drives a lot better and I don't have to align it. But we're not gonna know until we drive it. And I don't wanna drive it until I fix the fan wiring, which I'll do right now. Hopefully really quick. Before we wire, I want another little hit of success and happiness. Because I found this on eBay for 55 bucks. Because this one was missing. These things love to fall off. Stupid rally wheel trim rings. But they do really set off the appearance. Boom! Now it looks good all the way around. Wiring's kind of boring, so I'm not going in depth with it, but we're rewiring the fan. Cameraman and I are just running wires to do this right with the relay, because before the wires were basically just twisted together and shrink wrapped, which is dangerous. So I've connected them to the same source they came from. I'm going to install a relay right here. I'm gonna run the power to the fan, nice and clean. And then we're gonna have a ground switch in the interior, similar to where it was, but it's all just gonna be a little more proper and clean. Wiring is 3/4 of the way done, and I went ahead and made this nice little radio delete because the car has no stereo in it, and I don't care that much, so I will bolt this where the radio was, and then we will install the fan switch inside of it. And it'll look awesome. Junkie switch panel installed. Fan works beautifully with the relay. Everything's soldered, everything's tucked away, done right. So now I just have a couple more things to do to make this car the ultimate driver. And by that I mean slightly better than it was, to the point where I don't want to purposefully crash it on the highway because I hate driving it. Let's keep going. Stopped at the parts store, got a $5 brand new fuel filter that is not glass and will not shatter and catch on fire. And now that that's installed, it's time to make it loud. Let's get to cutting. Damn, them mufflers are heavy. Blow masters, stupid boomer junk. I'm just kidding, I like flow masters, but mine sound better. What was that? Duh, I'm not a f***ing dumbass. Of course I'm gonna start it up straight piped. Now my mufflers of choice for this project are my very own Speedy Sport mufflers. I just launched them and they sound awesome. It's a nice mid-range between my Speedy Snap and my Speedy Smooth, and it's gonna add a nice tone to this Corvette while uncorking it a little bit. Okay, action. Spark right to the lip. That felt insane. I didn't like it. Reminded me of your mom though. I've created 2 turn downs to come out of the muffler. I'm gonna get them nice and clean and flat and then weld it all together. Got my exhaust mocked up exactly how the old one was. Just straight up with a nice turn down, all tucked away behind the bumper. Although you can see a real sexy logo poking out from the bottom now. So let's just weld it up. Best part is, I can reuse the clamps. They're a little rusty, but that's okay. Now's that time. How do the Speedy Sport mufflers sound? Ooh, I like that. I am now getting those ugly headlights to come down, which actually was not hard at all. I thought they were stuck, and then they weren't stuck, and now they're down, and I'm not gonna think about it anymore. Let's go for a drive. Yo, hop in, baby. First impressions. Now that I have fixed a lot of vacuum leaks, the brakes feel way better. The steering feels way better. There's no more horrible transmission clunk, and it sounds badass. How's the alignment? Oh, dude, look. Look at this. Look at that. Oh! Oh! Steering's nice and tight. Should we give her some gonads, finally?
Let's give her some gonads.
I haven't actually floored this car. I've been too scared to floor it. Actually, I actually pussyfooted it there. I let out when I got into second. I thought it didn't go into second, and it did. This car is geared really, really tall. I don't know what the ratio is, but first gear goes to like 60 miles an hour. So taking off is kind of weird. And if you like shift into second and stay in it, you're doing like 80 really fast. It pulls nice though, and it sounds mean. When I hit second. That must be a funky, weird suspension thing. Didn't really dart right that time. I think it's fixed. We'll do a best 2 out of 3. If it darts right this time, I'll look into it. If it doesn't dart right, I'll say it was just luck of the draw. Go for a little bang shift here. Just getting used to me, okay? Or maybe I was just getting used to her. She's not pulling any which way now when I do a 1-2 shift. Maybe it was something in the road. I don't think there's anything wrong with the rear suspension. There can't be. Woo! It's fine. It's actually really fun. It skirts a little when you bang second. I'm not gonna bang shift this car like I would my own car because I generally don't trust Corvettes and their funky drive shafts and suspensions and rears. I don't want to obliterate anything. Aside from that, she's doing pretty damn good. Hell yeah. Hey, mechanically, braking wise, it feels really good. I'm calling all that stuff fixed. I get Mr. Corvette running good, and of course it awards me with a fuel leak. Good news is the hose clamp wasn't tight at all. My fuel leak is fixed. Now it's time for beautification. Now the bad news is I ordered some nice $200 seat covers and they're very far away. They're not gonna get here anywhere close to in time. But the sort of good news is the guy I traded with had these in the car, which do match the color of the interior, but unfortunately they have the same texture as 1600s grain sacks. But they will look maybe a little better than the horribly torn up seats. I don't know, let's see. Not terrible. Corvette. Those don't look good, but they're not the worst thing in the world. What do you guys think? Before we go get this bad girl listed up, let's go over our nice to-do list here. Steering play, fixed. Intern, alignment, fixed. Trans mount, fixed. Rear suspension, after 5 1-2 bang shifts, fixed itself. Wiring for the fan, fixed. Odd heat. I actually might have fixed that because while we're working under the hood, I found a grommet that was completely undone that allowed for a decent sized hole right into the footwell of the driver's side. So I plugged it up, didn't notice any bad heat when we were cruising. So I mean, I just like crossing things off the list. Totally fixed that. Interior refresh, arguable. Sure, there's not a gaping hole where the radio was, but there is a rushed aluminum plate that doesn't look that nice. Sure, there's no more torn seats, but there are horrible canvas seat covers. But again, I just like to cross it off. And of course, most importantly, we made this sound good. Shout out my muffler company, speediesequipment.com, go check it out. Okay, she's done. Before I forget, let me get really precise with how much we have invested into this kind of crappy Corvette. That water neck gasket cost me 10 bucks, trim ring for the wheel 55, rag joint for the steering 72, trans mount 20, and fuel filter 5. Because I didn't use those seat covers, I'm not counting them. I'll put them on the parts shelf or I'll return them. So all in all, I have $2,288 invested in this Corvette. That's not bad, as hokey as it may be. Now let's go have fun. Little wipe down, little spray wax, some ugly canvas seat covers. This thing's done, buddy. So get it listed up. Hopefully we can trade this thing up. I'm aware that this is a trade down from the Fairlane quality-wise. I quickly learned that. But I also think this is a trade down even maybe past that LS swap Camaro, which sucks. It sucks a whole lot. But the good news is we still have under $2,500 into this car, and I bet I could sell it for 9 or 10. So hopefully we could trade it for something worth that LS swap Camaro we had 6 months ago. We'll see. I've got this 75 Corvette photographed and listed up for trade. I'm only putting it on there for 12 grand, but hopefully that makes people want to trade me for it for something worth a little bit more. But before we close this out, we gotta see if she'll do a burnout, buddy. Hell yeah! This thing runs good. It rolled out of that for like an 1/8 mile. That's badass. Just like that. I'm the proud owner of yet another C3 Corvette. Did I want to be? No. Is it slightly cooler than the Fairlane? Yes. So all in all, I'm calling that a success. The trade-up challenge will continue. Sure, in this episode, it's been a trade-flat challenge, maybe a trade-down challenge, but this car is badass, it sounds good, it runs good, and it's a stick shift, baby. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with this. Thanks for being here on the best damn automotive content on YouTube. I'll see you soon, unless you want to see me sooner. In which case, check out the Patreon, because I got lots of fun stuff happening there. Check out Tom'sRefurb.shop, because I got some sexy new merchandise dropping. And of course, check out Speedy's Equipment, because we've got all sorts of badass products there, just like the ones we put on this car. So thanks for being here once again. Did I mention that I thank you for being here, watching my show? I hope you never leave. You won't. You can't. Bye.